Levi, it's really great following you up because I own the Colorado Quartz Gold Mine and I bought that in 2016. And there's one thing I knew about hard rock gold mines when I bought it, and that was that in the first year, 99% of them go broke. And that's all I knew about hard rock mining. I was a placer miner. My dad took me panning when I was 11 years old. I found 5 nuggets in the first pan that I ever panned in my life. And I didn't know at the time, but that my life changed in that moment. And I imagine every one of you in here, you have a moment, even though you don't know it was the moment in the moment, afterwards, for you, example, pegmatites. You live, breathe, eat, sleep pegmatite. Some of you, it's quartz crystals or rubies or whatever it is. For me, it was gold. So when Tony Fraser asked me in 2015 if I wanted to buy the Colorado Quartz Mine with him, I said, let's do it. And I wanted to get that out of the way because I'm going to show you this video. I didn't know that I even had this footage. I'm a gold miner who happens to turn on his camera and just kind of explain what's happening. When I'm underground and I'm finding stuff, I'm not responsible for what comes out of my mouth. So you're going to hear that a lot in here. And so what this is what we call the moose pocket. And this is a live, unedited, real-time dig and all of the thinking that goes into it, the extraction. And then when I brought it to the surface, the very first water gunning of it before I turned it over to Collector's Edge. So with that said, here's a 20-minute video inside what it is to be a gold miner at the Colorado Quartz Mine. So how many millisecond delay do we have?
0.
0. That means when you fucking push that button. Ready?
Right.
Yeah, that was fucking pretty instant.
Did you fucking feel that?
I fucking felt it.
I'm right under the damn thing in it.
Yeah, I felt it.
Did you count them?
There was 6. So it is, I'm not sure, February like 26th, 27th. Not sure. Anyways, drilled and blasted yesterday. And I'm just down on level 2, carrying some equipment, so I'm breathing hard. But what we do now is we come into the workings, low overhanging, and we come up to where we blasted yesterday. We have to do what's called scaling, which is removing all the rock from up above where we blasted so that we can work safe. You can see this rubble here. This is all new. We want to make sure we can get up and over. We can. So, yeah, we got all of this here. From this point, from right here, going all the way to the back, is all the new material. We can see that there's a lot of really new vein exposed and it looks good. So I'm going to go up in here, take a couple hours to scale down the loose rocks so we can go in a metal detect. See what we find today. All right, so we're going to use the air chipper to start removing some of the rock. I think that big pocket's where the two veins intersect. Here, let's do something.
Huh?
I'm gonna stick this up in the hole. See how far down it comes. Hold this. Which hole is it? Right there. Quite a ways up in there. There might be more up in here too, hard to say. I think you got her pretty much exposed now. Nothing is sure. Fuck, it's a big piece. I can't believe how big it is. I'd say it's at least 6 inches long. Maybe longer. What do you think?
I just hope it goes into the dike.
Me too. No sense in putting a metal detector on it now. Although we could show the difference between 2300 and 7000.
Yeah.
Fuck, it goes way that way. This is going to be, and there's gold right here on the outside edge.
Yeah.
Yeah, you went right into it.
But look.
But this comes out way away from the dike. That's the thing that's weird.
Yeah.
This quartz comes out into the slate. So.
Yeah, I thought that the dike came out, but it's not even the dike. It's just that bit of quartz.
Yeah. Well, what we're going to do here, the small metal detector sees, but I'm going to do this first. Hopefully it comes way over here.
You're gonna have to get used to that one because it doesn't act like the old ones.
Look how far over it comes. I just can't tell.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see what this. Let's see how the bottom extremity of this is. It's fucking huge. Doesn't really tell me much other than it's big, which we can already see. Move that. This thing could just overload like crazy. Can't tell, you know, I hope it goes way into the dike.
Yeah.
It seems like it goes to the left.
It should.
Yeah.
The veins just kind of jogging.
Yeah, it's weird how it's like where you drilled is not even in the dike.
Well, I mean that was the idea, to get close to it but not into it, which is why I was surprised I drilled into gold.
I'm 14 inches away from it, 12 inches away from it, and not even at the same level of it. It's a lot bigger than it looks. According to what this thing sounds like, it's a lot bigger than it looks.
So big. Oh my gosh. That's huge.
Yeah, it is. It comes like right where I'm spraying now, the gold comes all the way out to here, and I'm 4 inches off the dike. I think it's pretty much what we see there. Yeah. Quite turn. Is it still filming or not?
I turned it back on.
Okay. I will do some. I'm just going to go underneath it. I think that's what we see. What's that?
Carefully.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Come on.
The other side.
Over here?
Yeah.
Looks like that whole thing wants to.
Pry bar now. You had the whole thing moving.
Do it?
Clear.
Doesn't look like it goes into the dike.
crying against rock or gold?
I don't know. No, coming out.
You look at it.
Might be gold, actually. Coming down to here, maybe.
You need to dig around that base more. Quit wiggling it.
Gold all the way down to here, dude.
Well, Stan,
And it's crystals.
you're fucking bending it.
Give that a pump. That's crystals there. A little bit more up in there. Crystals down here. Crystals. Those were crystals, I think.
Okay.
But it's a big monster fucking piece. Look how big that is. See how heavy it is.
Holy shit.
Yeah. That is a big, 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 big piece of gold. That's going to look killer in there. Ready?
Yep.
Wrong gun.
Oh my god.
So that was the moose pocket. And, thanks to Collector's Edge for doing the final prep on it. And a little bit more about this particular pocket is we had found two pieces below it on the same vein. Most of our veins, they dip 40 degrees to the north, but where this pocket was, there was an interruption in the geology and it went straight vertical. It was about 75 to 80 degrees vertical. And at the bottom of the interruption was a smaller piece. Then we had one, I called it the Angel Wing. It was 5 ounces. And then that one was 17 ounces. That was March 2nd, 2020. Who knew that owning a gold mine is the best way to be social distancing yourself? And here's the reality of the situation. We found that piece, and what had happened is there had been rumors that the gold did grow into the slate. And when we were drilling, we were always drilling in the slate 6 inches away from the dike. That piece grew in the slate, and that's why we wound up drilling through it. So the bottom half of that specimen, he had actually drilled through it. We never obviously put a charge in that hole, but that's what happened. So we dispelled the rumor. We proved that yes, some of the gold does grow on the slate. The reality is, the next 3 years, $750,000, and I found 9 grams of gold. And that's the reality of gold mining. And why I'm still here today is because of that moment for me in my life when I was 11 years old. Like, that passion has never gone away. So it doesn't matter that I only found 9 grams of gold. And I'm going to show you one more video. It's a very short one. It's about the very favorite piece of gold I ever found. A lot of you have probably seen this video or, know of the specimen. It was found on the surface, and the reason we found it is John Emmett, who owns the Mockingbird mine right next to us. He told me that when he owned the mine with Brian Lees, and they did a lot of surface trenching, and he said they dug 55 feet deep. When I first got the mine, we went 17 months without finding anything. And so I decided, you know what? I'm going to go up on the surface and I'm going to see if John Emmett actually dug 55 feet deep. Well, he didn't. He only dug about 25 feet deep. So we found this other piece called the Angel. I'll let you show that video and then I'll cap it off for you.
My name is Varabioff, and I work for my gold mine. I've been chasing gold since I was 11 years old, and I'm 59 years old now, but if you do the math, 48 years. What you're looking at here is an area where you're mining a very large ore vein, about a foot thick, and we dug out the propo, got signal metal detected, and this temperature flip, and as we try to determine the size of the creature that we found. Which like listen to the vegan sound.
Like I said, I love the sound.
Now here, the first time I actually saw a piece of gold placed in the rock. See that the gold was sticking out with the black coating on gold crystal. And that's what it looked like in the ground, and then some sheets of quartz when we pulled it out. See the crack in the rock, and that's where the gold was sitting. People have always asked me, does the gold look like that when you pull it out of the ground? And no, it doesn't. This is what it actually looks like. In dirt, mud, manganese, and other elements that we expect to find underground that are surrounding this piece of gold. And if you understand how gold is formed geologically, you get an idea of all the different things that can be surrounding the gold when you find it. As I started to clean this piece and get the dirt and coating off it, it started to really reveal its beauty. And here it is on display at Tucson Gem and Mineral Show in 2018. And that's when my really good friend Danny Conchillo from Vine Minerals International saw it for the first time. And he asked if he could hold it. I said, certainly you can. As soon as I put it in his hand, he knew that he had to have it. This is my favorite piece of gold I've ever found in my life. And I hope you learned something by watching this video to see that there is such a thing as crystallized gold.
And so I still live at the Colorado Quartz Mine. 2.5 years ago, we had a snowstorm that was unrivaled, anything I had ever seen. Usually in Mid-Pines or Mariposa, we get 2 or 3 inches of snow, and it's usually gone by the next day. Well, 2.5 years ago, we had about 1.5 feet of snow, and our power was out for about 3 weeks. And I was going to Mexico City to go see The Warning, one of my favorite rock bands. And I was in Tucson actually on a layover, and my roommates called me at 2 o'clock in the morning, like, the fucking house just fell down. And we got 5 feet of snow that night, and the house did in fact collapse down in on them. And, that there was enough structural that, snow came in and things like that. My bedroom survived. The rest of the house was pretty much demolished. And then 2 weeks later, level one did collapse down into level two where we were actually working. So we haven't done any work in the Colorado Quartz mine for 2.5 years. I have rebuilt the house and we are living back in it. It's a updated version of a miner's shack. But in January, I decided that I was going to hang up my hat. The last 4 years of mining have been really, really sparse and spotty. I had that 3 years of 9 grams. I spent a year and a half up in Volcanoville chasing a collapsed caved in mine. Only found about 3.5 ounces of gold for $300,000 worth of expenses. And so in January, I'm 62 this year. I thought I'm going to actually hang up my hat from mining. Well, my roommate had other plans. He bought a gold mine 45 minutes from where we live. And I'm like, you asshole. It's like, you can't do this project by yourself. And he goes, you didn't want to retire anyway. And he says, this is your retirement. So, I jumped in, I got some equipment. I bought a wash plant. We went up there on day one, we found gold. And this is 10 weeks ago now. And there has not been one single day where we haven't found gold. In fact, I was driving from Mariposa yesterday to Fresno to fly here. They were up on the hill for 2 hours and he sends me a picture of 2.5 ounces of crystallized gold they found on the surface. We've had 5 ounce days, 6 ounce days, 8 ounce days. We've got rocks that are just, we don't actually have a gold mine. I actually tell Brian, my roommate, I said, we have a gold amusement park because we actually have every single kind of gold you can possibly think of on this 160-acre BLM property. We have raw gold nuggets that are in an old tertiary channel. We have sulfide gold. We have crystallized. We have wire gold in the red mud. There's literally nowhere that we can go and not find gold. We're on the Malonis Fault and we're between two of the very famous historical gold rush mines. And this was an untapped property. They did do some work up there. They basically left us a roadmap. We've got 7 dikes. They trenched about 6 or 7 feet deep. They were just digging from the surface. They were just removing the overburden and chasing these veins. It's very easy to see. They left us a roadmap. And so this year in Tucson, when, come and find me because you're going to see what we have from this new property. So thanks for having me here. I hope you enjoyed that video. That's an inside look of what it really is to be a gold miner. And, I'm just a self-taught kid, and to be here today really is an honor and a privilege. Thank you.
That's a question in the back.
Oh yeah, question.
Your Van Halen piece, right? Sitting there, that picture.
No, the Van Halen piece came from Michigan Bluff area. So that was found by a couple of guys that it was a surface find, random. I did wind up buying every piece of gold out of that pocket. I have one with me, one crystal left. I've literally bought everything that there was. There's 2 or 3 pieces left that they won't sell, but I have one piece with me so I can show it to you later. Any other questions? Actually, I totally forgot about that.
When does the lottery start?
Which one?
The golds that you got there yourself?
Yeah, well, we'll talk about that. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I do have a bunch of gold with me. I brought a bunch of stuff. I've been buying and selling gold too, like and Levi can attest to this. $750,000 of expenses over 3 years. You got to pay for your expenses somehow. So I've been buying and selling gold since 1999 online, and I have a bunch of stuff. I have a bunch of gold from Mexico. I spent 9 weeks down in Mexico last year mining. I wanted to get that off of my bucket list, so I did that. And every aspect of the gold industry, I'm somehow involved in it. Any other questions? Yeah.
Price gold price that has almost nothing to do with weight of the gold.
Yeah.
Usually, you get any premium over spot for a nugget.
There is a premium, but here's the interesting thing. People have asked me this. I've been buying and selling gold since 1999, full time. And now that gold is $3,400 an ounce, and it's very similar to all commodities, I used to get 35, 40, 50% over for anything that was 2 ounces and bigger. And now I've got 5-ounce nuggets with me from California. The premium's only 20% because the intrinsic value now kind of offsets the premium value, for anything rare. Crystallized gold, for sure. I have some pieces in here. In fact, I've got a 10-ounce piece that's not for sale at any price. It's the biggest wire gold I've ever seen on Matrix. I can show you the guys that one, but there's a bit of a premium. It just has come down because the intrinsic value of gold's gone up. I've got some Round Mountain pieces that I'm going to be selling for spot price. Basically, I've got some killer pieces from Round Mountain, big ones. Anything else?
You found any other metals in your pots?
No, it's all just gold. Yeah. We do find quartz crystals. A lot of times those are associated, but as far as metals go, in fact, our new mine where we're at in Mariposa, we're finding a lot of micro quartz crystals with gold crystals on them. And I know that it won't be long before we find a pure water clear quartz crystal with a gold crystal inside. We're getting really nice quartz crystals, big vuggy pockets, and the veins are just so thick. 7 parallel dikes, all the veins are pretty much the same.
Thanks, Dave. That's awesome.